Hey guys, so I get this question asked a lot on my channel. If I buy the 105Z for macro work, can I use the 105ZS lens, double it as a portrait lens at 105 2.8? Well, in this video, we are gonna test it out. I have a 7200Z lens right here, the 2.8S, and the 105Z lens. Here's a closer look at both. The 105S Z lens, macro, beautiful lens by the way, and the 7200 2.8S lens. Both amazing lenses, but like I said, if you just buy this lens for macro work, can you double it as a portrait lens? Do you even need a portrait lens? Well, in this review, we're gonna find out. So thank you for joining me. Let's get started. What's good, guys? This is Vahagraphy. I'm Vahagan, your rock and roll photographer. If I buy the 105S Z lens, the MC, for macro work, can I double it as a portrait lens? Do I need a portrait lens at 105 millimeters? Can I use this lens for macro and portraits? Well, in this video, we're gonna, show you guys the differences between an awesome 7200 2.8 Z lens and the 105 Z. So a lot of people buy the 7200 2.8 for portrait work. Come with me and let's take some sample images, take some portraits, and compare the differences, shall we? Let's go. All right, everyone. So I'm going to be doing some commentary as the images roll by and I show you the sample images. On the left side, we're going to have the Z105MC macro 2.8 lens with all the lens info. And on the right, we're going to have the 7200Z 2.8 shot close to 105 millimeters as I can, all the lens info. These are shot with the Nikon Z9, no editing. These are all raw files from the Nikon Z9, no editing whatsoever, as you see the sliders. Again, yes, I'm using the Nikon Z9 and all these sample images right here. So there is the camera info as you see there. So let's start the commentary. Okay, so what do you see here? The first sample image. Again, left side is the MC105 lens at 105 millimeter fixed prime lens. And on the right, we have the Z7200 at around 105 millimeters. This sample image, both shot at 2.8. I'm cropping in here, zooming in here to 100%. So you guys see the sharpness. I'm getting good sharpness out of both lenses. What do you guys see here? The differences. I'm liking the bokeh from the 7200Z a little more as I zoom in here to the background blur. They're both great in my opinion. They're both good results for portraits. On this next sample image, here again, we got the 105Z and the 7200, both shot at 2.8 and cropping in here to 100% crop. And what do you guys think? What do you guys think of the sharpness we're getting out of both lenses? We're using the same exact camera settings on the Z9. Just look at the lens info on top there. These are all raw, again, raw files. Let me zoom in here to the background blur again so you guys see the difference of the blur. The 105MC is giving me a little bit of a busy kind of blur, but the 7200 is more pleasing for my eye. But what do you guys think? I welcome your comments in the comments below. But both doing a great job, both sharp, very sharp lenses. These are all both at 2.8 wide open. So again, if you want to reference the lens info, it's on top there. Left side 105, right side 7200. Let me zoom in here to the dress. See the details of both images. The dress, again, look at the background blur. Liking the 7200 a little more, guys. Just like the background blur, the way it's rendering here. Moving on to the next sample image. Let's crop in here and let's take a look at the sharpness differences we see Again, let me highlight the background blur here. They're both, like I said, both great. You can do portraits with the 105 MC, no problem. But just look at how the 7200Z is rendering the blur. Both sharp. Let me go into the corners here on the right, and so you could see for yourself how both images are rendering the background blur. Wide open at 2.8. Again, no complaints of the sharpness. Let's zoom in here to the jacket. I love the detail both lenses are giving me on the Z9. Just look at the detail of the clothes, the jacket, and of course the sharpness on the eyes. I have the focus point right on the eyes using single focus point. 2.8 wide open. So again, no editing on these raw files whatsoever. They're straight from Lightroom, as you see here. Let me stop it down to 4.5. This is 4.5 on both lenses. Again, ultimate sharpness. Can't complain with the 105 MC. It is sharp, and so is the Z7200. They're very close. They're very close. So I need your help here. Like I said, guys, leave a comment. Let me know what you see. But they're both sharp, wide open. Sorry, this is not wide open. This is 4.5. Both sharp, 4.5, identical camera settings here. And again, let's crop into the background so you can see how it renders the background blur. Both acceptable, both exceptional. They're slightly little different how they render the bokeh. Call it bokeh. So yeah, let's go to the left side of the image and see how it renders at 4.5, the background blur. And the Z7200, little off. What was that, 102 millimeters? Try to get it close to 105 as possible. Again, the detail of the jacket is very, very detailed on both results here. The 105 on the left, the 7200 on the right. I'm liking these results, guys. What do you guys think? It's detailed, it's sharp. The colors are very, very similar. Do you see any difference in colors? I do not. They're close. Next example here, wide open, 2.8, shot with the same camera settings. Again, let's crop in here to the face and see how sharp these lenses are wide open. 2.8, same settings. The Z7200 Z lens is a little more. I mean, you're gonna pay about $2,500 for the Z7200, but of course, this is a zoom lens. This is not a fixed 105. The 105 MC is a macro lens after all. But interesting results with the bokeh right here, as you see the quality of the circles that it's producing on both examples here. A little different. I'm getting a little different background blur. Again, this is the corner of the image, and they're both very, very close. And as I was saying, you buy the 105 MC for macro photography, and you can use it for portraits. This is what I'm doing in these samples. I'm using it for portraits. Now the 7200 Z lens, obviously you don't buy that for macro photography. It's a zoom lens, it's versatile, a different type of lens altogether, more expensive. The 105 MC, about $1,000, and the 7200 at $2,500. But let's zoom in here, see the sharpness at 2.8. Love the way both lenses are rendering. This is a very close example at 2.8. Now in these next series of shots, I'm going to show you different aperture settings. This is at 2.8 wide open. Let's zoom in here to the image so we can compare sharpness. The raw files take about a half a second to load when I move them, as you see, but when they load, the sharpness just kicks in. Both very close and very sharp. Again, what do you guys see here and the difference? Let's go to the hair so you can see the sharpness difference in the hair. Again, the focus point is set to the eye. I'm using single focus point, and I wanted this test to be as close as possible. Same settings. This next example, well, before I get to that, here's another example of the background blur difference. Again, the 105 is on the left, the 7200 is on the right. The lens info, you can see the settings and stuff in that nature. It's rendering that wood post very close results here. Let me zoom into the corner, the left top corner of the image, so we can compare. Again, guys, do you see any difference? A little difference in the background blur. Let me go to the next example. Let me stop it down just a little bit to f4, both lenses. Excuse my settings on the 105 MC. As you see here, my shutter speed was a little faster, hence the darker image. Again, I didn't want to make any adjustments in Lightroom, just wanted to keep it straight from the camera. But this example is at f4. F4, both lenses, sharpness, like I said, both lenses are just sharp. I'm seeing a little difference in the way the image looks as far as portraits go. Let me stop it down to f8 now. As you can see, the background blur is changing. You stop it down, you get less and less bokeh. But at f8, both lenses at f8, wow, just pin sharp. Both lenses just sharp and doing a great job. Again, I like the look of the 7200 a little better when it comes to portraits. Again, they're both at 105 millimeter, but still, it's just a different type of look. They're both good. I mean, I've used them both for portraits, but I like the 7200 better for portraits. Just the look of the lens, the look of the image. Again, at f8, you still get acceptable bokeh. Both examples here, you still get somewhat of a background blur. And a little difference in the shape of the bokeh balls here. If you see the 7200 and the 105 MC, yeah, it's sharp. Both lenses sharp and great. Yeah, very, very good results. And I wasn't expecting it to be this close. Here's an example of what a 7200 millimeter lens can do at 200 millimeters. You get more compression, you get more background blur. You know, the bokeh is beautiful at 200 millimeters. Just wanted to show you what you get with the 7200 at 200 millimeters. So in these next examples, shot with the Nikon Z9, I'm taking a picture of my Nikon Z6 with the 35Z on. But both lenses doing a great job, and they're very, very close. Again, do you see any differences here whatsoever in this type of shoot? You know, side-by-side comparison, they're both very sharp and very close. Now, this result, this might have been human error. I'm not sure. Thought I was focusing in on the edge of the lens and the lens element. The images are both very sharp. This is shot at 3.2 on the 7200 and 3.0 on the 105. But there's a little difference in where it says Nikkor on the 35Z lens on top there. The Nikkor sign, the text is a little bit not sharp. This could be because I had to stop the 7200 lens down to 3.2 to match the 3.0 on the MC lens. So you're getting a little shallower depth of field with the 105 MC. The reason is with macro lenses like this, if the subject is closer, the wide open will be 3.0, it won't be 2.8. Same thing with the 105G lens, it would do the same thing. So you have to back away from the subject to get a 2.8. So the 105 MC is wide open. The 7200, I stopped it down at 3.2. That's where we're getting probably the sharpness difference and the shallower depth of field. Here's an interesting example, both at 5.6. I stopped both lenses down. I took a picture of this door. And zooming in, you see the detail on both lenses, and both shot at, the 7200 at 105 millimeter. This is ISO 4000 on the Nikon Z9. And again, both sharp, focusing right on that keyhole. And it's just doing a great job. Look at the detail, look at the colors at ISO 4000. This is not a bad result. And on this result, they're almost both identical. I'm giving a sharpness edge to, I would say, man, they're so close. I don't know which one to pick, but they're very, very close. Yeah, this result's identical. The colors are very similar and the sharpness is very similar. Are you seeing anything different? Let me a comment down below. Man, isn't this the coolest looking thing when lit up you've ever seen? This is macro at its finest, ladies and gentlemen. 24 karat gold vase. Man, I wish this vase was 24 karat gold. You know how many Nikon Z9s I'll buy? And a few Leicas, and probably a house. Yeah, guys, this is looks cool when it's lit up, but it's not gold. Like I said, I wish it was. But here we go. Both lenses shot at 2.8. Again, being that the subject is closer, this one is 3.0 on the 105, the aperture setting that is, and on the 7200 at 105 millimeters, 2.8 wide open. So both lenses wide open. Now, when I move the raw file, it takes like a split second to, render on the screen. And both lenses sharp, guys. What do you see here? Look at the edges of the vase. Let me move it from corner to corner so you see the difference in the sharpness. Some interesting results here. Both very sharp and very close. Again, this is wide open at 2.8. Both very sharp and very close. So hopefully this side-by-side comparison can help you guys out in deciding, which lens, which one's sharper, which lens is sharper. There's the autofocus areas in the bottom of both examples here, both shot wide open. But yeah, look at the sharpness we're getting here. Just exceptional results. I don't expect nothing less from Z lenses. Pretty much all ZS S-class lenses are just top of the line. And the top of the vase here, all the details. Let me go ahead and take a few without changing any settings. Let me stop it down to 5.6. Image is going to be a little darker, hence the stopping down. But both camera settings the same. I didn't change that. I just stopped it down to 5.6 so we can achieve optimal sharpness. Yeah. Wow, just look at that. Do you guys see any difference here from these two examples, left and right? And again, when I move the image in Lightroom, it takes a split second for it to, come up, and it just, both lenses are just doing a phenomenal job. And for fun, let me stop it down a little more. This final example, this final sample image, let me stop it down to f8. So f8, both lenses at f8 without changing any camera settings or ISO, both shot at ISO 100, straight from the camera raw files. You're seeing this as I'm seeing this in the Lightroom software. So yeah, guys, let me know what you think in the comment section below. So what did you guys think? What did you guys think of the results? Pretty awesome. They're both sharp lenses, and they can both deliver. So leave me a comment down below. Let me know if you buy the 105Z for macro and portraits and the differences. I want you guys to tell me what you saw in the sample images right there in this video. So they're both killer lenses. They both have impressive results. You can get impressive results with both. So anyway, guys, hopefully this video helped you guys out. And like I said, the 105 MC lens is a gorgeous lens. It's a lot lighter than the 7200. And you can pretty much use this lens for a lot of purpose. So if this is your first time here on Vahagraphy, please like and subscribe, hit the bell icon. More reviews on the way. And by the way, guys, the 105MC, the full review coming soon, and we're gonna have some fun with this lens. I did a review of the 105G lens some time ago, and you know, a lot of people, they honestly thanked me for that review. They thought it was very helpful, and I got a lot of views on that review. So the 105 2.8S, this is my personal lens. I bought this, and it's time to do a full-on review of the 105 as well. So for all you Nikon Z shooters, you know, this is the new generation, this is the new era, and the F-mount DSLRs are great, but I have the Z9. I'm recording the Z9 on camera A right here, and you know, I'm loving it. So again, guys, thank you for watching. We'll see you on the next video. This is Vahagraphy. I'm Vahagan, your rock and roll photographer. Go out there, macro, portraits, whatever. Go out there and have some fun. Hey, what's good, guys? Vahagan here from Vahagraphy. If you like more rockin' videos like this one, go ahead and check the videos on the screen and subscribe to this channel, Vahagraphy. Rock and roll.